Hey, it's me. Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. Come for the psychology and stay for the philosophy. Let's talk about something that a lot of us can relate to. Why do I compare myself to everyone else? Comparing ourselves to others is something that we all do. And when we make this comparison, we are looking at our own lives through a lens that is distorting our perception of reality. The grass always looks greener on the other side of the fence, and we often fail to see all of the factors and circumstances that have led our neighbor to have a seemingly better life. Here are 6 reasons why we do this. 1. Because of our upbringing. We tend to compare ourselves to those around us because of the way we were brought up. Our parents compare us to our peers and siblings in order to motivate us to be better, smarter, prettier, more successful. And even if they don't mean it in a harmful way, it still causes us to compare ourselves to others. It doesn't end there. Society also plays a big role in how we are constantly comparing ourselves to everyone else. The media promotes an unrealistic standard of beauty and success, and we are made to feel inadequate if we do not meet these standards. You can see it everywhere, on social media, TV, ads, magazines, etc. This constant bombardment of images and messages makes us feel like we need to be like the people that we see in order to be happy and successful. At the end of the day, the media just wants us to buy their product. So they use all kinds of tactics to get us to do so. One of the things that they do is to make us feel bad about ourselves. They want us to feel like we need their product in order to be happy and successful. But the truth is that we don't need anything that they are selling. We are already beautiful and successful just the way we are. 2. Because we want to know where we stand. As humans, we are social creatures, and we naturally want to belong to a group. We want to be accepted by our peers, and we want to feel like we are part of something bigger than ourselves. In order to do this, we need to compare ourselves to others in order to know where we stand. We need to know if we are above average or below average in order to know where we stand. This is why we are so obsessed with rankings and statistics. We want to know where we stand in relation to others. This is especially true when it comes to our appearance. We are constantly bombarded with images of what is considered to be attractive, and we want to know if we measure up. If we are above average in terms of our looks, we feel good about ourselves. But if we feel like we are below average, we may feel insecure or even ugly. 3. Because we want to improve ourselves. Comparing ourselves to others can also be a way for us to improve ourselves. If we see someone who is better than us at something, it can motivate us to try to be better as well. For example, if you see someone who is in better shape than you are, it might motivate you to hit the gym. Or if you see someone who is more successful than you are, it might motivate you to work harder in your career. In short, seeing someone who is better than us at something can light a fire under our butts and get us motivated to improve. However, it's important to make sure that we are comparing ourselves to people who are at the same level as us. If we are constantly comparing ourselves to people who are better than us, we are going to get discouraged and demotivated. We need to find people who are at the same level as us in order to motivate us to improve. 4. Because we're afraid of falling behind. We live in a world where things are constantly changing and evolving. If we don't keep up with the times, we will fall behind. This is especially true in today's competitive job market. If you don't keep up with the latest trends and technologies, you will be left behind. It can be scary to think about falling behind, and this fear can cause us to compare ourselves to everyone else in order to make sure that we are staying on top. We are afraid of being left behind, so we compare ourselves to others in order to make sure that we are keeping up. This is especially true when it comes to our careers. If we feel like we are falling behind in our careers, it can cause us to feel anxious and stressed. We want to make sure that we are staying ahead of the curve, and the only way that we know how to do that is by comparing ourselves to others in our field. 5. Because we want to be accepted by others. One of the main reasons why we compare ourselves to others is because we want to be accepted by them. We want to fit in, and we want to be liked. If we see someone who is more popular or more successful than we are, we might start to wonder what we are doing wrong. We might start to feel like there is something wrong with us, and that we need to change in order to be accepted by others. This is especially true when it comes to our appearance. If we see someone who is more attractive than we are, we might start to feel insecure and self-conscious. We might start to think that there is something wrong with us, and that we need to change in order to be accepted by others. The truth is that we are already accepted just the way we are. We don't need to change in order to be liked or loved. And finally, 6. Because we're hard on ourselves. We tend to compare ourselves to others because we are hard on ourselves. We set high standards for ourselves, and we expect ourselves to meet them. This can be a good thing because it can motivate us to be our best selves, but it can also be a bad thing if we are not careful. If we set unrealistic standards for ourselves, we are only setting ourselves up for failure. We need to make sure that the standards that we set for ourselves are realistic and achievable. If we do that, we will be able to avoid the disappointment that comes along with comparing ourselves to others. We need to learn to be kind to ourselves and to accept ourselves for who we are. We are all human, and we are all imperfect. And that is okay. We don't need to be perfect in order to be loved or accepted. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, please like and share it with your friends. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for watching and take care. When we compare ourselves to others, we are looking at our own lives through a lens that is distorting our perception of reality. The grass always looks greener on the other side of the fence, and we often fail to see all of the factors and circumstances that have led our neighbor to have a seemingly better life. Instead of focusing on the negative, we need to focus on the positive aspects of our own lives. We need to be grateful for what we have and for who we are. When we do this, we will be less likely to compare ourselves to others, and we will be happier overall. We all want to be happy and successful, but sometimes we take the wrong path in order to get there. Comparing ourselves to others is one of these wrong paths. It is a path that leads to unhappiness and dissatisfaction. Instead, we need to focus on our own journey and to be grateful for the blessings that we have been given. When we do this, we will be much more likely to find happiness and success. As you get older, you realize that people don't really change that much. We all make the same mistakes over and over again. We all have our strengths and weaknesses, and we all have the capacity for greatness and for failure. The sooner you realize this, the sooner you can stop comparing yourself to others, and the sooner you can focus on your own journey. Everyone's path is different, and there is no point in comparing yourself to someone else. We all have our own unique gifts and talents, and we need to focus on developing those instead of comparing ourselves to others. I hope that this video has helped you to see the dangers of comparing yourself to others. Please remember that you are not alone. We all struggle with this from time to time. But the most important thing is to remember that you are beautiful and successful, just the way you are. You don't need to change a thing about yourself in order to be happy or successful. And that includes your looks. You are beautiful inside and out, and you deserve to be treated that way. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Thanks for watching, and take care.